I am excited. Toby and I are thrilled to have all of you here with us tonight. And hopefully you will get a lot of information and it'll get you excited about convention. And we're really thrilled to have you. So the theme for tonight is I Did Not Know That. So I am Carol Simon. And with my partner there in the frozen tundra of upstate New York, since I'm down in Florida, is Toby Mazur. And the two of us are consultants, and we have been involved with Women's League for a long time, a few years, right? And it's been a wonderful journey because we have friends all over North America because of our journey with Women's League. So we'd like to welcome everybody. I would like to say, just take a look at some of the faces. Some of the faces may seem familiar, others not. But the good thing about this is that when we all get to convention, we'll be able to recognize somebody that we have met through these 3 Zoom phone calls that we're going to be doing. So Toby, are you ready to get going?
Only if we get to share the best kept secret that's coming up in July. Yes.
Okay.
I also want to welcome all of you tonight, and we're going to start off by I'm going to explain what the region is. All of you are either sisterhood presidents that have just been elected, and mazel tov to you, or are continuing, or have been reinvented, recycled, but always with new ideas. So this is geared to all of you, and hopefully you'll get some ideas of things that you did not know before. Most of what I'm going to be talking about is what is a region, and why is that so important to you as a sisterhood president. I'm unsure of the next step, and I'm in this position. Do I have the bylaws of my sisterhood? I think I need to read them. Do I understand that document? Or who do I contact with all these questions and clarifications that I need? Where can I get the help I need, especially if I feel the need for some changes? Well, you know, they say it's lonely at the top. You're not alone as you lead your sisterhood. Women's League is in the business of serving our sisterhoods. We start by bringing Women's League from its New York office closer to you. Your sisterhood is located in one of our 13 regions. Your region acts as a liaison between Women's League and you. Your region president is your Women's League representative. But why is that region stuff so important to me? We're doing just fine by ourselves. Sisterhoods affiliated with Women's League are organized into 13 local regions. The regions are vital links in our network. When you connect to your region, Women's League can bring you even more services in the most effective way possible. Regions have volunteers who are available and willing to assist the chairs in your area and your sisterhood. Did you know that every sisterhood president is automatically on her region's board? By participating in your region, your whole sisterhood will benefit. Your sisterhood plays an integral role in improving communications between your members and other sisterhoods in your region. Your region team can be a great asset as you become comfortable in your role as president. They are experienced sisterhood women who are all ready, willing, and able to help you succeed. Working with this team will help you assess your sisterhood's needs and identify what services will benefit you the most. The region leaders are part of your region's support system, your first line of defense. They hopefully live close enough so that they can provide effective and personal service to you and your sisterhood team. And if they're not that close, you can see how this Zoom conference helps us to get to know one another on a more personal basis. They're experienced in sisterhood and region and can get you information that you need quickly. But how do I contact them? I have no idea where to start. We encourage a member of your region team to communicate with you every 6 to 8 weeks. She will also help create networking opportunities for you with other sisterhoods in your area and region. We encourage video or conference calls, as well as face-to-face meetings when geographically feasible. If you've not heard from a representative in your region, please contact your region president. Her email can be found on the website under regions. So how does my sisterhood benefit from my association with my region? Your sisterhood has much to gain from your region. Assistance in building membership, speakers, consulting services, which I'll get to in a little while, and bulletins and more. It is your benefit to become an active member on your region board. Similarly, invite region officers and chairs to your programs to get to know them so they can become familiar with your sisterhood. The area director or sisterhood support team is your link to your region and to Women's League, but you are the one who makes this connection work. Region personnel will work with you to solve challenges, resolve issues, or put you in touch with those who can be most helpful. I mentioned the bulletins. Do I need to share that region Shabbat email? Oh, yes, even though my members complain that they get so many emails right now. Each region's Shabbat emails contain pertinent information about events on the region and national levels. They include events that sisterhoods in your area are planning so that sisterhood women can participate. By forwarding the email to your membership, you are connecting your sisterhood to the larger network of Women's League and its regions. I thought I muted that. I apologize. Kids, you can't get rid of them no matter how hard you try. So back to the emails.
Toby,
Events that sisterhoods in your region are planning so your sisterhood women can participate. Every sisterhood member is a member of that region and therefore can participate in all region activities. Hopefully, a member will read about something that resonates with her. It happens all the time. The more women find out about an event or project, the more they will participate. But what are my responsibilities to the region? Well,
all right, so
okay, I'm going to backtrack of just a minute, just so that I made sure everyone understood all of this, because this information is important for you. Back to what I was saying, you have responsibilities to the region. Make sure they know the dates of your sisterhood functions so that they don't conflict with other region functions. Attend all your region meetings and functions and encourage others to go with you. Publicize all the region events and meetings on your website, Facebook pages, e-blasts, and at every event that you have. Encourage sisterhood members to attend all the region events. Budget funds, big thing. Budget funds for you and other members to attend region and Women's League events. It's a terrible thing when some people just can't go because they don't have the funds. So we encourage all sisterhoods to help wherever they can. Read and respond to region mail, emails, and calls. Disseminate information received from the region to your membership. Remember, in most cases, you are the only one receiving this information, and it's necessary for you to share it with your members. So I'm sure many of you have heard about region conferences. They occur in most years, although this year now, this current year, most regions will not be a conference because we're hoping and really wish that all of you will attend the International Convention in July. Each region provides conferences and meetings throughout the course of the year. There are opportunities for you to meet other women in your position. For example, not only president to president, but also all of your chairs. Your sisterhood support person, your Torah fund person, your membership person will meet others from other sisterhoods and also the region leadership so that you can all connect with each other. These are opportunities for you to meet other women and share ideas and solve challenges. Be sure that you or other representatives from your sisterhood attend. These are opportunities for you to connect to your region and learn from others. Think back to your days when you were in a youth group. Remember the connection with others in your area, region, or nationally? That connection enabled you to network, share ideas, and bring them home. Women's League is exactly the same. We're looking for new ideas, and those can come from the women in your region. The region structure is there for your support, whether as consulting services, fundraising ideas, new programs and membership suggestions, so that you're not planning the same events year after year, no matter how good they were in the past, or simply just to be a part of something larger. Every sisterhood has its good years and not so good years, and your connection to your region ensures that you have awesome years. I want to take a step back. A number of times you've heard me talk about consulting services, and I want to give you an idea of what that entails. A number of Women's League women who have been in the organization for a while have shown that leadership skills have been asked to be consultants. What that means is that there is a list of us. There's always someone in charge, and right now it's Sandy Berenbaum, which will change with the next administration. But what you can do is you can ask for help. Whether you need someone to come to your sisterhood and do a presentation for you, or if you would like, as a new sisterhood president, to have a mentor, someone that you can call day or night, 6 days a week, and ask for help. And we're always there for you. It could be a hand to hold, a shoulder to lean on, or whatever you may need. It doesn't have to be, and it doesn't cost you anything. That's the most important part. That's part of your per capita, that we will come to you and work with you and help you solve whatever concerns, teach you whatever you don't have a good handle on right now, and get you through as sisterhood president. We don't ever, ever, ever want you to feel like you're out there alone.
And to add to that, we have no problem if you feel like, you know, you're up north and it's snowy and you don't want to plan something, we can do a Zoom call with your sisterhood board, with your sisterhood members, any topic that you want. We're very flexible. We just like to connect. Okay, Toby, thank you. So now you have a good basis of what Women's League is and what the regions are, and as a sisterhood president, what you can take advantage of, because we're all here, as Toby said, to hold your hand. We don't have problems, we only have challenges and opportunities, and we want you all to succeed. So you have a whole group of people behind you in your region and on the international board. So what else can we tell you tonight? Well, Women's League is international. That's part of our name. And what does that mean? That means that we're part of the outside Jewish world. And my part tonight is to tell you about this very well kept secret about what we're part of. So I'm going to go through some different organizations and different things that Women's League is a part of, because it also opens up your eyes and lets your members know that you're not just part of your sisterhood in your community, you're part of the Women's League world in the greater Jewish world. So one of the things Women's League is affiliated with is JCPA, which is the Jewish Council for Public Affairs. And we are a national member. JCPA is the national voice for more than 125 local Jewish community relation councils and community engagement committees, plus 17 national Jewish organizations. JCPA advocates for a just and pluralistic American society, Israel's quest for peace and security, and human rights around the world. That's just one. Another one is I am sure not many of you know, other than the people from Metro North and that area, that we have 3 members that are UN observers. Women's League is fortunate that we have 3 members that represent us at the UN. They are known as NGOs, for non-governmental observers. And they are also part of JNGO. Does anybody know what the J is for? Jewish, the informal caucus of Jewish NGOs. They report back to our president and our international board several times a year. And if you're interested, they would, even if you're in New York and they're having meetings and caucuses going on, you can go with them to observe what they see and what they learn and how they represent us. Women's League is also part of Conference of Presidents of major Jewish organizations. This group has been an effective voice of organized American Jewry for over 50 years. The Conference of Presidents advances the interests of the American Jewish community, sustains broad-based support for Israel, and addresses the critical concerns facing world Jewry. The COP, as we fondly call it, is at the forefront, mobilizing support to halt Iran's nuclear program and to counter the global campaign to I'm having trouble talking today, delegitimize Israel and the Jewish people. The Conference of Presidents is the preeminent forum where diverse segments of the Jewish community come together in mutual respect to discuss vital national and international issues. So why am I telling you all of this? Because each of you in your sisterhoods have members that may not be the organization type, and it's up to all of you to share this information with them, to tell them that being part of Women's League, being part of your sisterhood, helps to have us have a greater voice. And that is so important. And that's an aspect of what we do as Jewish women in North America and beyond. And sometimes just this little bit of information will spark an interest in somebody that hasn't been involved before. So some of the other things that the Conference of Presidents engages in is advance U.S.-Israel relations, promote prospects for lasting peace in the Middle East, reinforce links between Jews worldwide, aid endangered Jewish communities and fight anti-Semitism, build support at the UN, combat terrorism at home and abroad. And we are one of 51 organizations that make up the Conference of Presidents. Many times you may get social action alerts from Women's League or a daily news alert. And sometimes you'll get a notice saying that Women's League has signed on to a statement produced by the Conference of Presidents. All of these daily alerts and social action, please share with your members so they know what Women's League stands for and that they're part of this greater Jewish world. Another organization that we're part of is Merkaz. So I'm going to show you something. How many of you, I don't know if you can see this, but I know I got mine in the mail last week. It's the Merkaz USA, and it's to vote for Merkaz. And you'll be hearing more about this as time goes on. I can tell you at the Women's League board meeting today, we learned that Merkaz is going to be holding a Zoom call just like this in the early part of February to educate all of us about the importance of the organization and why it's important for us to register and vote. So I won't go into a lot of it, but just know, be aware that this is really important. Your rabbis have received information and something you can share and talk about at Shabbat services as well. So Merkaz USA and Merkaz Canada is a Zionist organization of the conservative Masorti movement. I don't know how many of you know or realize that only in North America are we known as the conservative movement. To the rest of the world, in Israel, in Europe, in Asia, in Africa, and South America, we are Masorti. So if you hear those words, conservative and Masorti, they really mean the same thing. Translated, Merkaz means traditional, and Merkaz supports the strengthening of Israel as a Jewish, Zionist, and democratic state. Merkaz envisions a society that is democratic and pluralistic, that recognizes and empowers all streams of Jewish practice, and that guarantees the civil and political rights of all of its citizens, a dream of Theodore Herzl's. Merkaz represents the conservative movement in the World Zionist Organization, the Jewish Agency for Israel, the American Zionist Movement, and the Jewish National Fund. There is an election that's starting on January 21st. And like I said, many of your rabbis have already received the pamphlet that I showed you, where we'll all have the opportunity to register and vote. So why should you care about that? That's over in Israel. Well, I'll tell you why. It's our chance to publicly build a stronger Masorti community in Israel, a chance we do not often get. It is also a chance to demonstrate to Israeli officials that diaspora Jews care about religious pluralism. It's a chance to increase the funding for the Masorti institutions, for Schechter Institute, for Tali schools, for the Fuchsberg Center, as well as many of the programs for our students that participate in USY's pilgrimage, Camp Ramaz Israel Seminar, and Natib, to name a few. I can tell you that a few of us have been to Israel. We were at the World Zionist Congress, which is the ultimate goal of the election, and we learned that most of the education is either secular or Orthodox. And it's through the Masorti conservative movement's Tali schools that the pluralism and the conservative and reform perspectives are taught. So it's really important for you to learn about Merkaz. So I hope all of you will join us, and there will be an announcement once we have the final date for February. So you can even learn more about Merkaz than I just taught you. And then Masorti women. I know many of you have seen that our Giving Tuesday, when we hold Giving Tuesday, that the monies that we raise goes to Masorti women. And so what is that? And then you get requests, right? If you can make a donation to Masorti women. So the Masorti women are our sisters in Israel and beyond. In Israel, Women's League partnered with the Schechter Institute over 20 years ago to provide for our sisters in Israel the opportunity to come together to study and to bond, just as we do. Twice a year, in February and in June, the Masorti Days of Study are held. These sessions are held in 4 languages: Spanish, English, Hebrew, and Russian. And they cover diverse topics such as Torah, meditation, Jewish music, and social justice. Typically, the one in June is the one that's countrywide, and it's held at the Schechter Institute in Jerusalem, and they will get anywhere between 400 and 500 women to attend. I know Kathy Swerdlow is on, and Kathy has experienced them, and I hope that others will too. And in February, there are 3 that are held in the different parts of the country. To experience these sessions, if you're in Israel, you will be more than welcome. So if you go on the website, the dates for the Masorti Days of Study are posted. If you are going to be in Israel, just let Diane Freegott know, and her information's on the website, and you will be warmly welcomed. If you would like to experience it a little bit, you can go on our website, and there are some YouTubes and information from the last days of study, so you can see what it's all about. And that would make a wonderful sisterhood program for all of you to have, everybody sit around and experience and share that information from the website. So now you know all about the Women's Days of Study that Women's League supports in Israel. And because of that, and because of the community, I don't know how many of you are part of the Women's League Reads, but that we have a whole group of women in Israel that join us when we interview the authors, and we have come together over the love of books. Okay, so now, Toby, a word from our sponsor, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We're the best kept secret. Of that we can bet. But there is so much more, and we don't want you to forget that this session tonight is really just to whet your interest, just like a magnet.
So get on the WLCJ train with us. We promise it won't be in vain. We're on this journey together. There's so much for all of us to gain. This is your first step into the world of WLCJ.
This is your journey. Join our universe. Renew, nurture, express yourself.
Please plan to meet everyone here and others at convention in July, where we will learn, study, network, and share our affection for WLCJ. So
One more topic that we'd like to address is community service. And that's something that Women's League is well known for. Not only do we nurture and enrich and educate our own women within our sisterhood, within our congregations, within our families, but we also extend out to the community. And each convention that we have has one community service project that we really enjoy to participate with. At the last convention in 2017, there was a project called Matilda's Mentionables. And I can't tell you how many women showed up with bags and boxes of bras. I think we had something like over 5,000 bras donated. And they went to communities and shelters and wherever it was needed within the area of where the convention was held. This time we're expanding it a little bit, and it's not only going to include Matilda's Mentionables, but also support the girls, which may sound like something just about the same, but there is a website called isupportthegirls.org, and it explains it a little bit further. So your region is there to help and celebrate with you and share some of the burdens and in the bad times. We need to let them know what's happening in our community. Since the last convention, a number of women's sisterhood took back to their sisterhoods the idea of continuing Matilda's Mentionables and doing it with local shelters. So not only did we supply a large area around where the convention was, but a number of us took it back and did it within our own communities. As long as we're speaking of those communities, I want to share with you these two community projects. In the traditions of Gemulat Hasadim, acts of loving kindness, and Tikkun Olam, repairing the world, Women's League provides many opportunities for its members to engage with helping others, both in their communities and on the world stage. We collected over 5,000 bras in 2017, and we hope that women took it back and did it on the local level. Since that convention, individual sisterhoods have contacted shelters in their own communities and continue to supply them with needed essentials. And that's where the partnership with I Support the Girls comes in. I Support the Girls, which is not just the girls on your own body, collects and distributes essential items, including bras, underwear, and menstrual hygiene products. You can't imagine the stories that I have heard about women who have contacted shelters and found out not only are items having to do with your menstrual hygiene taxable, but for many women, they're out of reach. You shouldn't have to choose between feeding yourself and your family and your personal health. Women were doing all kinds of things because there was no way that they could afford Tampax or pads or anything else. They were using rags and they were using rolls of toilet paper. And the I Support the Girls project has expanded to include those types of necessities that every one of us needs. It goes to women who are homeless, impoverished, and and need to stand tall with it with dignity. So around the globe, we're helping girls and women experiencing this homelessness, victims of domestic violence, victims of sex trafficking, refugees, evacuees affected by natural disasters. They are all also our sisterhoods, and we need to help them. I personally, I was recently asked to be a consultant in another state. I live in a little town in upstate New York, but I've been to many, many different places around the United States. And one of the places that I was going to following my presentation, the women were getting together with women from local churches and the local mosques. And between the three of them, they were working and putting together packages for families. Some of those packages included boxes of breakfast so the children would have something before they go to school. Some of the boxes were contained the hygiene products and bras and underwear that women need. Some of the boxes contained shoes that were gently used that people can get for their children. So there are all kinds of things that can be done. I know one of the most recent things that I saw that absolutely amazed me, and before they take them off the market, is to save your garbage bags. And with those garbage bags, they knock them into mess because so many of these people end up in a shelter and don't have a dry place to lay their head down. So all of these programs are on the Women's League website under programs. And if you click on Matilda's Mentionables, you can find out more information about them. And if you go to isupportthegirls.org, you can find information about that.
Okay, thank you, Toby. Also, that will be one of the programs at convention. We are going to be making different things out of garbage bags and other things, and there'll be lessons for you to be able to learn how to do it at convention so that you can take it home and have a community service social action program. So lots of hands-on kinds of things. So as Toby said, we had Matilda's Mentionables and I Support the Girls at convention in 2017. Those are two organizations that we have partnered with. And there was a third at convention 2017, and that was Sharsheret. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Sharsheret. I know some of you here are, but what we did is as we bagged up the bras and put them, we labeled the size, and we put them in individual bags at the convention. It was an ongoing project. And in there, we put in information about Sharsheret and how to do, and one of their cards had information on how to do breast exams. So Sharsheret is an organization, a national nonprofit that improves the lives of Jewish women and their families living with or have an increased genetic risk of breast or ovarian cancer through very personalized support. Individual support, they offer confidential support information to empower women and families to better understand your individual circumstances, how to cope with your unique challenges, and provide help. They have a peer-to-peer program to support network that connects women newly diagnosed or at high risk with others with similar circumstances. And some of the stories I have read, you know, if you're a young woman with 3 children, they will pair you up with a peer that's a young woman with 3 children, just like you. So it's a lot of good vibes and good experiences and a way to bond with somebody that understands what you're going through. They have parenting help, how to guide your children if you're young through the cancer journey. They even have a busy box with information how to share it with your family and activities for the children, and support for your family and friends. I can tell you that one of the very first Zoom calls like this that we had with Sharsheret, the entire conversation is, what do you say? You know, and the first thing all of us would say would be to look at a dear friend or family member and say, I'm here for whatever you need. And what they told us was, that's not what you say. You say, I'm coming over Friday night with Shabbat dinner. Be very specific. Don't wait for somebody to ask for what they need, but tell them, you know, be there for them. So it's a really good partnership, and it's a way to bring all three of these activities together and topics between Matilda's Mentionables and Support the Girls. And it's a way for all of us to be able to help our sisters, whether at home, across the miles. And I can tell you that right after that convention, there were two women that were at the convention that were both diagnosed with breast cancer, and they both reached out to Sharsheret. And I was very happy that we were able to make that connection. So we're going to take a break. And if you would like to unmute yourself, Toby and I are here for questions because we've talked enough. So if you have any questions about anything that we've talked about, or if there's something, because this is one of 3 calls, Toby and I have our notes ready. If there's something you would like to have us discuss on one of these Zoom calls, the next one will be we have one in March, and then we have one in April. So you can unmute yourselves, and Toby and I will do our best to see all the hands raised. And I don't see anything. So anybody want to speak up with questions, comments, or suggestions?
Can I just ask, when is the convention going to be open, or the information about the cost of the registration?
Okay, thank you. Jennifer, where are you from?
I'm from Portland. I'm in the North by Northwest region.
Nice, okay. So registration will be open February 3rd.
Okay.
All right, and you'll be able to get all that information. Debbie Goldich, who is sitting here with us, and she is the convention chair, and Eileen Rubin, who is program chair. They would like, can we announce the costs? Okay.
Are you asking me to announce the cost?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
As convention chair.
Thank you very much. Jennifer, I'm glad you asked that question. So convention is from Sunday. The full convention is Sunday at 4 o'clock until Tuesday, 5 o'clock, July 12th to July 14th. There will be an opportunity to spend Shabbat with us, let me just go through it and then you can ask. An opportunity to spend Shabbat with us, a traditional conservative Shabbat with services and meals and educational programming. If you cannot get to Chicago, Schaumburg, Illinois, before that time. So it's July 12th to 14th. And then after convention ends at 5 o'clock on Tuesday, please plan your airline reservations accordingly. We will have an extended program for the leadership of the organization. If you are traveling with someone or rooming with someone who is a region officer, region president, a consultant, or anyone in international leadership and region leadership, please feel free to stay. It is an extra cost on Tuesday night and Wednesday morning. Wednesday we'll be having an international board meeting, and you are more than welcome to come to that if you'd like to. So, but convention for the regular convention is Sunday at 4 until Tuesday at 5. The cost for that part of convention from Sunday at 4 until Tuesday at 5 is $699 without the hotel. The hotel is $139 a night for 2 people plus tax. So it works out to about $80 a person. And if you come Sunday to Tuesday, it's 2 nights in the hotel. You can count on about $160 for your hotel. Airfare, I'll tell you that.
Meals.
Right.
Includes your meals.
Everything right. So I was just going to say registration, the $699 includes terrific catering, kosher meals. It includes your materials, your registration, and overhead, cost of speakers. It's a full, you won't pay for anything else during those 3 days. Airfare, there's a sale right now on Southwest. I know JetBlue is having a sale. A lot of people are looking into that right now. You can fly into O'Hare, which is between 20 and 25 minutes from Schaumburg. You can also fly into Midway, which is where Southwest flies. And for the most part, Southwest is a less expensive way to fly. It is about 45 minutes from Midway to Schaumburg, Illinois, to the Hyatt Regency, where we will be staying. But I will tell you that if you come with a buddy or your roommate and you split the cost of a taxi or an Uber, it won't be that much more. It'll just be 15 more minutes, but you might save on the airfare if you fly Southwest.
Okay, and each region has a madricha. And what that person in each region, the madricha, will be doing is once you register for convention, they will get that information. And it's up to each region that they'll try and let everybody know who's flying into which airport, and if there's anybody that's coming in around the same time, then, you know, to be able to share ride from the airport to the hotel. So thank
Carol,
you, Jennifer.
Carol, this is Ruth Jackoff in Florida. I have a question. Hi, I have just been reading that they're asking that the presidents be there earlier on Sunday, that they're having a special meeting for presidents starting at noon on Sunday. Is that still on the,
Yes.
is that still on the plans?
Yeah, we are starting promptly at 1 o'clock because the program this time is a little bit different. We've always had people not complain, but just say that they're coming to convention and they had the Sister President session, but there was so much else going on that they were going to miss out on. So what the program committee has done this time is all of the leadership sessions, including Sisterhood Presidents, will be before the official opening of convention, so that the rest of the time, other than eating together one meal, you'll be able to participate in all of convention.
I assume that we'll be able to get early enough flights to get us in early enough to be able to get there,
Yes,
especially with the time change.
Yes, I actually checked it today after our board meeting. I was on Southwest website, and there are plenty of flights that will get you in. And yeah, and it's only a 2-hour, 2.5-hour flight, and then you add in that hour difference, so you should be fine.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you for asking, Kathy.
Yes, I wanted to say that I booked my flight today after our meeting, and I'm flying Southwest nonstop from Orlando to Midway for $258 round trip.
Yeah, it was 159 from Tampa. Sue Bangle booked hers right after the board meeting today too. So I am waiting. I need to coordinate with some people. So, but yeah, so, you know, just go on the websites anytime Southwest has a sale, and it's cost per, you know, it's cost effective to fly into Midway, as Debbie said. Okay, any other comments, questions, suggestions? Toby and I are looking for suggestions. I will tell you this, my email is csimon@wlcj.org. Toby, you have a Women's League email?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Mine is Tobala, Tobala 704 @AOL.com.
So why we're giving you this information is either to ask questions in between our calls, or if you would like to make some suggestions and maybe a little too shy to just speak in front of all these people, just send us your suggestions of things that you would like us to cover on the calls. I will tell you that our next call is March 5th, and we will be talking about our wonderful website and how to find. There is a wealth of information there, and we're just gonna guide you through some of the things that are there just for you as Sisterhood President. Okay. Any other comments? Is somebody? I thought I heard somebody. No?
Hi, I wonder how we can access a recording. One of those 3 meetings conflicts with something else. I won't be able to be there. How do I get the recording?
Okay, no problem. They will be on the website. We will have Renee Ravitch, who is the moderator for the president, and Erica, who's our communications director, send out an email letting you know that the recording has been posted. It usually takes a couple of days, but each of the 3 sessions will be recorded.
Thank you.
No, thank you for asking that question. Beth?
Hi, I was hoping maybe even in the next call, maybe it works well, but to have some sort of conversation around usage of either social media and websites and constant contacts and things that will maybe help with some of our younger members and bring them up to speed, and so that hopefully they'll be more apt to join in on all the fun that we're all having. Because I'm with Tiferet Bet Israel in Bluebell, Pennsylvania. And I'm middle-aged, but I'm actually trying to bring both sides, so our older members and our younger members together. Our board is comprised of millennials to whatever, Gen X or Gen whatever, and we're starting to use a lot of social media and other type of electronics and things like that. And I'm finding a lot of pushback from, not necessarily within our local women's league, but just in general, when suggestions are made. I don't think we're going to get anywhere if we don't do something.
I agree. We also have a women's league app, so we'll talk about, I just wrote that down. We'll talk about because they kind of wrap around together, and it's really easy to load the app, and there's a ton of information there too. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and God bless that you have a multi-generational sisterhood. That is fabulous.
Working hard on that.
Oh, you're doing, thank you. We'll have to give us all that secret juice that that you got. Okay, anybody else that we can help with? Answers, questions? Sandy, if you can identify where you're from, that would be a huge help. Sandy, where are you from?
Yes, I'm from Rockford, Illinois, so I'm part of Central Great Lakes region. And so I'm pleased to see that the registration was a little bit less than it was the last time. I remember last time, though I didn't get to go then, there was a reduced fee for early registration. Is this going to be the set one, or will there be a reduced one?
No, that's the early bird registration. That's it.
We're hoping, for the most part, the majority of our members usually register in time for early bird.
Okay, and my other, it's not really a question, but our chapter is very small, our affiliate is very small, 23 to 24 members. And we've now had 2 projects with Matilda's Mentionables, one at Spring Conference, and then Central Great Lakes had kind of a smaller overnight conference in Detroit with Fran's region. And so I'm wondering how, when we've done Matilda's Mentionables, and I support the girls a couple of times, maybe you could address maybe some ways to kind of, get something going, because like most of our members have, pretty much contributed to this at this point. So, I was thinking there might be some other one. I also did, because I got very excited about that. We've had a couple of speakers with Support the Girls especially at Spring Conference last year, where we did raise a lot, collect a lot of things for the Chicago region. But being a retired high school teacher, I started looking into maybe ways we could support the high schools in our area. And the school nurse told me that Illinois recently passed a law. So at least for all school age children, the schools are required to provide the hygiene products
Right.
to those that can't afford it. So, I'm not sure where this is all where all of this will be distributed, but as I said, just any
No, that's a
maybe
good point.
suggestions on those of us who have collected several times for this, maybe a new slant or something.
Good. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Sandy, because, it's such a good project and sometimes it just needs to be tweaked a little bit. Okay, Judy.
Okay, well, it's funny that's mentioned. In our sisterhood, what we're doing this year is we're kind of putting the bras to rest for a little bit because once again, I mean, how many bras do we really go through? But we're doing period packs where we are collecting pads. This is for middle school, so for girls who are having their periods for the first time, but we're collecting pads, we're collecting hand sanitizer, and thanks to Terry Jonas, I mean, she's the person who thought this is a good project this year, but we're collecting them, putting everything, and underpants as well. And so we're finding underpants in various sizes because girls come in various sizes, and we're putting them all together. Not only are we doing that, but we're also starting to collect boys' underwear and collecting deodorant because the school nurses are requesting that too.
Okay, yeah, okay, Eileen.
Unmute yourself.
Yeah. So, Eileen is our program chair for convention.
Yeah, thank you. So, and it's exciting every time someone starts asking about airfare. I'm only going to take a minute. I won't go into the explanation, but especially for you all from CGL, and the time is late. We posted today on Facebook, and it's on the Women's League Facebook page as well, the beneficiary of our products when we're in Chicago. We tried to pick a local place. And I don't know if you've all heard of the ARK, A-R-K. It's a Jewish agency. And so Edna Schrank has been in touch with them and asked what they could use. And we will be working on at least 2 projects for them. So without, I don't want to go into too much explanation. I didn't expect to speak, or I might have even put on my lipstick. So forgive me. But please, so send me lipstick. No. I have underwear, so don't worry. So those things, but look, because there are 2 videos explaining things. One is Edna Schrank and one is Rachel Ferber, and they're on the Women's League Facebook page now. It will be distributed further, but please know that, yes, we can continue one project, but this is something that will benefit this incredible agency in Chicago. So we asked them what they wanted. Edna went to them and asked them, and this is what they told us. So we'll be working on these 2 projects.
Thank you, Eileen. Okay, Fran?
Luckily for Sandy, our next meeting is only in a week and a half. And what we'll do is make that one of our agenda items. And the other benefit we have is Edna is part of our region and lives in Chicago. So we'll have a conversation because what you're talking about is true in Metro Detroit and in other parts of our region, and I'm sure all over. We'll brainstorm. I've taken notes on what was said tonight about that. I like those packs for schools. And bottom line is we'll come up with other ways to make it fresh and interesting so that women will want to participate. But I think you brought up a really important point because our region has been very proactive in collecting. We'll take care of it. We'll talk about it more again.
Okay, thank you, Fran. And I want to tell you this, one of the things that Toby and I really were wanting to get across is this is one of the best parts of convention is the sharing of ideas and coming together and learning from each other and networking and bonding. So I think we did a pretty good job. And the other thing is it's 8:57 and we promised that this would only be exactly 1 hour. So I'd like to just close with something. So this is part of an anti-stress kit for all of you as Sisterhood presidents. I hope you have a rubber band to remind you to stretch your new ideas in your mind to new limits so you will continue to grow and reach your potential. I hope
Don't forget the tissues to remind you to see the tears and needs of others, including those of yourself and your peers.
And I hope you have a candy kiss around to remind you that everyone needs a hug, a kiss, or a word of encouragement all the time.
And a lifesaver to remind you to think of your peers as your lifesavers. Care about each other and help each other through the stressful times that occur in your life and also the happy times.
So we both, Toby and I, thank you for joining us for our this was a new thing that we're doing. The very first Zoom call just for all of you as Sisterhood presidents. So we all look forward to seeing you again on Thursday, March 5th at 8 o'clock. We're going to be taking all of your suggestions, whether we talked about them tonight or if we get them as an email. And we'll be talking about the wealth of information that's at your fingertips 24/6 on our website. So everybody have a sweet Shabbat this Shabbat. Thank you so much for joining us. It was wonderful to see so many people here tonight.
And make sure you and all your friends sign up for the next one.
Right. So all those region presidents that have been on tonight, please get all of your Sisterhood presidents to sign up next time. Lila Tov, everyone.